and welcome back to my channel. I am the Oracle Empress, and I just wanted to give you a quick update on what's going on with me and to check in with you guys. Hopefully you all are not from Texas because I'm here in Texas, and if you haven't heard, we had a horrible snowstorm last week, Snowmageddon actually. um, which I was excited about. I love wintertime. I love snuggling up to my fireplace with Chelsea and having hot cocoa and a cup of herbal tea. But the issue was that the power grids were not able to handle the single digit temperatures. And Encore and Encore decided they were going to have to do rolling power outages. So my area, I live in a suburban area of Dallas. My area of town, we didn't get rolling blackouts. We just got blackouts, period. And so the power went out. It never came back on. I thought it was going to come back on because they said rolling blackout. So I stayed here longer than I needed to. I have a fireplace downstairs. And so I cooked on the fireplace, kept us warm. Boiled water, whatever we needed to be heated, I heated it in the fireplace. But later that night, I began to run out of firewood, and I had gas logs. I had loaned two of them because I had quite a few gas logs. I had loaned two of them to one of my neighbors. But then I realized I probably should have kept them because I didn't have any more firewood. I ran out of firewood. Gas logs are amazing. They can last for 3 hours, but they go out unless you have firewood to, I usually mix mine with firewood. And so I had the last fire log and I stayed up till about midnight with it. But I had to keep feeding it Amazon boxes for it to stay lit. And I got really sleepy. I mean, as soon as the cardboard would go out, the fire would go out because there's no firewood to keep it lit. I should have took the patio furniture and burned that. That's what I should have done. But I end up sleeping up here, layered up with my coat, gloves, and everything, and still froze. It was awful. I had trouble sleeping, and it was just so cold. When I got up that morning and looked at my thermostat up here, it was like 30 degrees. Downstairs, it was 28. So it was really cold here. And I decided to get a hotel, but by then, all the hotels were booked. My son was looking for me a hotel. He actually booked one for me, and about 20 minutes from here. And so I got up that morning and we packed up the car and we started on that drive to get to that hotel, which is 20 minutes, but it took 2 hours because of the treacherous roadways. Everything was closed. I needed to get gas. We needed a hot breakfast. Nothing was open in my little suburban area. And I drove. I didn't take the expressway. My son thought that I should have, but I didn't. And we finally came to a Wendy's that was temporarily open. And I was so glad to see that. And so I was able to get some hot food for us. Kept driving, found a gas station that had gas. And it was packed. I didn't think I would be able to even get into a spot. But as soon as I was pulling in, another vehicle was pulling out. And so Spirit just took care of us. I mean, we got a hot meal that morning. We were warm in the vehicle. I found gas and was able to fill up my truck. Got to the hotel. They didn't have any power, y'all. They didn't even have a record of the reservation because they didn't have power. So my heart sunk. Oh my God, we're not going to go back here. I don't want to come back here and freeze to death. And so my son said, you've got to come where we are. And he lives on a normal day without any traffic or without treacherous roadways with ice and snow, he only lives 45 minutes from me. And so I didn't want to do that. I was nervous about the highways. And he said, Mom, they've treated the highways. The highways are going to be better than the side roads that you're taking to get where you're going. And so um, I decided to go ahead and take a highway to him. And we drove very slow, but we were very blessed. They had cleared a lot of the ice and the snow out. Even though the overpasses weren't slick, they had moved everything to the side. And so we made it to my son's town, and I realized it was late. It was like going on probably 3:30, and you have to understand I left the house that morning to get to the hotel. It was a lot of hours traveling. Only takes, that hotel was only 20 minutes away. It took several hours to get to my son's town. So once I got there, looking for something to eat for dinner, because my daughter and we had just had breakfast. So I'm looking for dinner for everybody, and because I'm already in the car and I'm looking around, and there was a Cane's chicken store, and it must have had 60 cars all the way around in line to the drive-through because they weren't letting anybody into their facility. And so I didn't know what to do. I said, well, hopefully I did bring peanut butter and crackers so we can eat that. I was like, we'll be fine. But I did see an Olive Garden that just had about 2 or 3 cars in front of it. So I stopped there and called inside, and they were taking takeout orders. And they told me at that moment that I was the last order that they were going to take. And so I said, okay. And I just started ordering all kinds of stuff. Because I didn't have time to call my son and say, hey, what do y'all want? Because she said, she was ready to take the order right then. So I was just throwing stuff out. And finally, my son answered my text, and I was like, cancel that. This is what we really want. So I was able to get to their home. They didn't have power either. And I was able to get with them and at least have a hot meal with me. My son had found a source for some firewood, and so he left and got a truckload of firewood, and I lit their fireplace, a fireplace they had never used before. So we lit the fireplace and was able to keep the space warm all night, all throughout the next day. And their power would come on for an hour and go off for 6 to 7 hours. And so when the power would come back on, we would run around that house, plug in everything that we could, take hot showers, turn on the TV. I mean, we just did everything. And they had said, to make sure that you conserve power when it does come back on, conserve power. And we just did not do that. I mean, we were jumping around, screaming and hollering like we were at a football game, cheering on the best players. Because when that power would come on, we were, yeah, hollering and screaming and just running around like, oh my God, I got to plug in my phone, plug in an iPad. And, my daughter communicates with her iPad. And so to get that iPad plugged in for her and to get some juice and stuff, and we were just plugging everything in, running around the house, and it would literally turn off within an hour, y'all, for real. We could actually time it. And so it was interesting. But we made it through. I stayed there for that entire ordeal. My neighbor did call and let me know finally that there was power, but there was no water. So I didn't come back because there was no water. When I finally came back, there were pipes busted all over the community. And I live in a very beautiful townhome community. And everybody here had busted pipes. Every single townhome had busted pipes in this community. And so they turned off the water. And I came home finally and had wasn't sure if I had a busted pipe because they hadn't turned on my water. They turned everybody's water off. And so the maintenance And this will tell you about favor. I always speak favor into your life. I speak favor into my life every day, divine favor every day. Maintenance men came to me first. Now, I haven't even been here. I've been gone the entire week. Came to me first and said, we're going to check to see if you have any leaks or any busted pipes. We're going to turn your water on. So as soon as they turned the water on, I went around flushing all the toilets because I have 2 full bathrooms and a half bath downstairs, and I flushed every toilet. And there was a leak. They found a leak. They immediately fixed my leak and turned my water back on. And I think I heard one other person out of 200 residents here. I have water. And maybe one other person has water in this entire community of 200 residents at this townhome community. I have water. Nobody else does. That is favor. That is divine favor. That is speaking divine favor in my life every day. It's just an automatic thing. And I didn't expect this situation to happen. But think about it. There's 200 units out here. I have water. None of them do. My neighbor across, our garages are across from each other. She had to come over here last night and bring all of her gallon jugs, her buckets, and use my water hose to fill up so we could make sure she had water. And I had to tell her, don't let anybody else know I have water. She said, yeah, because nobody else out here has water. She said, I think there's one other person, but nobody else has water. I said, okay, because I don't want my bill to be $1 million because everybody came to my place and used the water hose and got water. So I wasn't getting ready to do that. But isn't that a blessing that I have water? After everything that we all went through, I have water. They came to me first. And there's only 2 of them. Out of 200 units, they have to go from unit to unit, one at a time. My pipe was easy to fix. They didn't need any equipment. They didn't need a whole lot to fix my pipe. It was in the garage, in my utility closet in my garage. But here in Texas, we are running out of supplies for plumbers and the pipes and the things that you need to make sure that the pipe can be repaired. They're having trouble getting those items and making sure they have the proper equipment. I was the first one they came to. If they hadn't come to me first, I wouldn't have water right now. None of the residents have water, and they have a list of everybody here that needs to have their pipes fixed. I took Chelsea, and that's Chelsea back there. I took Chelsea on a walk, and I'm walking throughout my community, and I'm walking by townhomes with nobody there because, of course, they had to go find shelter somewhere. There's nobody home, and there's water gushing down their driveway and out their garage and out their patio. And they're not home, so they don't even know that their place is being flooded. That's just how bad it is. I saw people's had their garages up. They had water coming out of their attic. They had plywood hanging, whatever that stuff is that's hanging from the ceiling. All of that hanging. They got water coming out. I am blessed. And so I've been MIA because I've been trying to get my life together, but I'm blessed, y'all, because there are people out here, like I said, they still don't have water. Not only do they not have water, they're flooded. They're flooded. And these are 2-story. My townhome, I have an upstairs and a downstairs. And their whole downstairs is flooded. Everything is flooded. They have to rip up. I don't have carpet downstairs, but some residents have carpet, and I've noticed carpet being pulled. You can see carpet outside under their patios and out in the breezeways in front of their garage and stuff because they had to have all that pulled out. So I am blessed. I'm okay, but I did have to take some time because I had to clean up because I had water in the mudroom and water in the garage because there's a utility closet in the garage attached. The pipe is close to the mudroom when you come in from the garage where the wash machine is. And I had to clean all of that up. It's just all of that flooded. but it didn't come into the rest of my house. You know, it didn't come in the kitchen. It could have came into the kitchen. It could have came into the dining area. It could have came into the living room. It could have flooded my whole downstairs. And so I am blessed. There we're okay. We didn't have any major flooding. My son didn't have any pipes to burst at all. And so they're blessed. And so that's just a testament to say to order your life every single day. Call things into your life that you want every single day. I do that all the time, but you never know what you're going to come against. You never know when you're going to need divine favor. And so always call it into your life every single day. That's just one of the things that I add to my meditation regimen. I have my little affirmations that I speak to myself, and I say, I'm so grateful that I have divine favor everywhere I go with people that know me and people who don't. Going in and coming out, I'm divinely favored. Thank you. I'm so grateful for that because it makes my life easier. People help me. Even when I didn't know I needed help, there's always help available for me. People are so kind to me. They're such a blessing to me. And they don't even know me. Thank you for that divine favor. That's what you have to do. And so I'm grateful and blessed today because I call in divine favor into my life every single day. And because of that, I have water when other people in here don't. Other people in this community, they don't have water. But God bless me. I have divine favor. So call that into your life every single day. And when I got back, y'all, I hadn't been here for over a week. And so the mail had piled up. And so one of the first things I did was go and get the mail out of my mailbox. Why did I have a check in the mail? And I really still don't understand what happened, why I got this check. But a check in the mail, y'all, out the blue. And I was thinking, isn't that a blessing? Wasn't I just, Spirit said, what you were just talking to me in your meditation about your mailbox. I said, I sure was. And what I do, I'm going to give you all this tip before I let y'all go. What I did in my meditation is, as I meditate in the morning before I get my day started, I said to myself, I love it when my mailbox fills up with money. And I imagined opening my mailbox and this big old stack of cash was just in my mailbox. I imagined, you know how you get a package and they leave you a key inside your mailbox and you have to go to the other big mailboxes with the key and open up for your big package? I imagined that. I imagined finding the key in my mailbox, going and unlocking a big package box and money flying out of it. And I'm grabbing all the money and saying, oh my goodness, I'm just receiving money in the mail all the time. I imagined getting an envelope, looking at it, opening it up and says, oh, I had a check in the mail. How nice it is to receive money, to receive abundance in the mail. And I did it, I saw money coming into my front door. Like I imagined myself opening my front door and bills just blowing into my front door. I imagined opening up my patio door and money blowing into my patio door, blowing into my home. In the window, any entrance or exit that I have in my house, just imagine money flowing in. And I got an unexpected check. I was looking at this check, and what happened is I think I joined a lawsuit, a public lawsuit, probably about 5 years ago. You know how they would sue creditors that call at the wrong time and call you too many times and all that kind of stuff. And I just signed up for it because that particular credit person had called me. And I don't even know what they was calling my number for. And I had just signed up and says, yeah, these people call me all the time and be asking for people. And they call at crazy hours and all that stuff. And I just put my name on that list. And I never thought anything else about it. That probably was about 4 or 5 years ago. It might have been 3. No, it had to be because they had an old address. on there that I haven't lived at that address probably about 5 years, 4 or 5 years. But anyway, they sent me a check. Um, and it was a nice check. I was shocked. I was like, wow, huh. It was a nice check, y'all. And so I had no idea I was even owed that money. But I do call in money that I'm owed that I'm not aware of all the time. And so do that. Call in money, unexpected money. Call in money that's owed to you, whether you're aware of it or not. Call it in. Call in your favor. Put divine favor on your path every single day. Cover yourself so that when stuff happens, you are already covered. You got insurance. Your insurance is what you're calling into your life every single day. Calling in divine favor. Calling in money unexpectedly in your mailbox. Expected, unexpected. Into your house, through your door, through your windows, into your life, into your home, into your vehicle, because you use your vehicle to get to work. You use your vehicle for your businesses. Call money into places that you use, tools that you use all the time. Imagine money coming forth using that tool. Look at your cell phone. Imagine dollar bills coming out your cell phone. This is a way for you to make money. You may get an unexpected idea. Spirit may wake you up in the middle of the night with an idea to use your phone to make some money that you hadn't even thought about. So call in and speak into your life what it is that you want on a regular basis, because you never know. I didn't know that we were going to have Snowmageddon. I didn't know that the power was going to go out. I didn't know that the pipes were going to bust and I wasn't going to have any water. And so you never know. So I just wanted to give you guys that update and encourage you and give you that information. I also want to thank my new subscribers. I'm so excited every time I would, look at my phone when it was charged last week, because I had a hard time charging it with no power. It would say new subscriber. That's so exciting to me. I love that. Thank you all for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate your support. So welcome new subscribers, and thank you to all of you who are already subscribed. I love your comments. I love that this channel is helping you, that this channel is blessing you, that this channel is giving you information that you can help to order your life the way that you want it to go and make your journey easier. We were here to live abundantly and prosperously. So we're here, I always say, I am living my happily ever after. Thank you that I'm living my happily ever after. And I may not be completely sure what that is, but I know it's happy, and I know ever after sound like a long time. So if I'm living my happily ever after, that means I'm living happily every day that I'm here. That's what that means to me. So when people say they lived happily ever after, well, they just kept on living happy. That's what that means to me. I don't know if that's what it really means, but that's what I'm saying it means. So say that. I'm living my happily ever after. I'm so grateful for my happily ever after. And the feeling of being happy every day, and knowing that this feeling and that this state of my environment is going to continue for all of my days here on this earth, because I will sit here to enjoy life. I will sit here to be a blessing. I will sit here to make connections. I will sit here to be abundant, to be prosperous, and to be all the wonderful that I can be. So with that, I want to thank you again for your support, and be looking for readings. I'm going to start with water and continue with earth, and then I'm going to go to my fire, because fire, y'all support me like no other. Among the fire, Leo, y'all are the number one. And so I just want to thank all of y'all for those of you who reached out to me to make sure that I was okay. If you lived in Texas during Snowmageddon, put it in the comments and let me know. Let me know if you're okay, and let me know how you made it. What happened? Did you lose power? Was your power rolling? like my sons in their city? Did your pipes bust? Are you dealing with that right now? Let me know. And I know some of you who don't live in Texas, some of you live in this kind of weather all the time. Y'all, it's 70 degrees today. This time last week, it was in the single digits. So for Texas, it was unusual. We haven't had a major storm, any snow, any ice since 2013 or 14. We had an ice storm that shut everything down. We're not used to that. I'm from Oklahoma. I'm used to it, but they're not used to that here. So if you live in this kind of weather every day and this is something that y'all just deal with, let me know that too. I want to know where you are. If you're in Colorado or Michigan gets some pretty um, tough weather. I have a best friend of mine that's from Michigan. So let me know where you are and what kind of weather that you're having. Because right now, today, it looks like Florida up in Texas. It's ridiculous right now. So let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time as I get these readings out for you. So see you then. Namaste.